Sorry about that again, we're having a bit of connection issues today. So we won't let that bother us. Hamsen Aprupana did set a pole time of 1:10.8, however, that's nothing compared to Kevin Van Dijk's time of 1:04.6. Who is now on top? Daci also sets a time, 1:06.8. And Han right now P2 with the Aston Martin at 1:05.58. And we have Rogic now racing with intermediates, which is a bit of an interesting choice, as there is no rain on the track. But on board with Mirk now, who is on his fast lap. He has set a sector 1 time of around 16 seconds, which is usual. But I think that might be a fast lap in the making. We'll see if he's able to get some speed to pass perhaps Kevin Van Dijk, who is still on pole with that time of 1:04.285, 286, sorry. So yeah, our grid today is consisting of 12 drivers, which is unfortunate. It's not quite a lot. And Mirk, I think Mirk will perhaps get the best time. Yes, he does. Mirk sets the fastest lap of the race at 1 minute 4 seconds and 265. So that is very, very tight. That's just 200ths of a second better than Kevin Van Dijk. Sidney 200 now, setting his lap. Or is he? Yes, he is P4 with the McLaren here. That's actually a pretty good lap. Mirk did not participate, if I recall, in the last race. But anyway, the last race winner Jigs, he's not partaking today. So he will not be defending his title. He also finished second yesterday in the tier 2 race, I believe. I'm not sure that we're calling them tiers anymore. But he finished second in yesterday's Friday race. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to make it today. Now, KNG sets a time of 106.64. He's on the medium tires. Again, interesting choices here. I mean, the intermediates are just strange, but the medium tires, I guess he wants to save some soft tires for the actual race session itself. Which, you know, it's strategy, but I don't think it's a very good one. Ideally, would want to at least spend some soft tires to get a fast lap in qualifying, in my opinion, that is. But, you know, to each to their own. To each to their own. By the way, Han, P3 driver, currently pulling into the pit lane. He has a time of 1:04.8, so that's around half a second slower than the leaders. Now we're on board with Kevin Van Dijk, P2 currently, and he did improve his sector 1 time. And as I remind you, Kevin Van Dijk, his time is just 200ths of a second slower than Mirk's. So if he's able to significantly improve here, he will be able to perhaps surpass Mirk with the Ferrari. And Austria is out of the qualifying session. I believe that he has crashed, and there's still 3 other drivers who haven't set a lap time. Kevin Van Dijk now into the second last straight. Final corner now. Takes it well, I think. Let's see what the time is gonna be. It's gonna be close. And yes, he gets the pole position. 1:04.203. Oh, and Jigs joins the race session. I didn't even see him there. Oh, he was here all the time. I didn't even see him. Jigs was here after all, and he has now, out of nowhere, set a pole position time of 104. Is that point? Yeah, 0.1. Exactly 104.1. what an introduction there. Jigs, last race winner of the winner of the Saturday's race last week in Monza. He has joined the session and he's first now. Kevin Van Dijk did set the pole time, but he was immediately surpassed by Jigs, who is now leading qualifying provisionally. And oh, Mirk on his outlap, he spun. And now on board with Kevin Van Dijk. I think Kevin Van Dijk is still going... No, he's pitting. He's wanted to pit fast there. Now on board with Jigs. I think Jigs is also pitting. And Mirk on his outlap. Oh, and Han has also spun on the outlap. Now on board with Dutchy, currently P8 with the Ferrari. We'll see if he's able to perhaps overtake a few people with these soft tires. Now that was a strange line and he's gone straight off. I'm not sure what he's doing there. And now on board with MC Naapuripera, currently P9 with the McLaren. I'm not sure what lap this is. You know, he's gonna try to improve that time. I don't think he will. No, he won't. Not even close. 3 seconds slower than his best lap at the moment. And he spun. Well, a bit unfortunate there for him, the debutant. Now on board with Ragic, who raced with the intermediates there. And now we're with Finishing Heart, who I think is on... No, he's gonna set a lap time here. I think. Or no? No, he doesn't. Now Jix coming out of the pit lane here. He is currently the championship leader with 26 points. He was able to win the race in Monza and get the fastest lap of the race session. He's now on his out lap to see if maybe he can build a even bigger of a difference. Han is in the gravel, sorry. Siren 200 on the out lap. And at the moment, the top 5 drivers are Jix in the Alfa Romeo. 104.1 is the time to beat if you want to finish pole position. Kevin Van Dijk 1/10 of a second behind. Then Mirk, who has a time of 104.265. Toro with the Alfa Romeo 104.439. And then Han with the Aston Martin 104.851. Sirianni 200 now starting his fast lap, currently P6 with the McLaren 105.797. We'll see if he's able to set a faster time to perhaps get some higher positions. Well, he's all the way a second behind Han, but it's not impossible. Improbable, if you will, but not impossible to pass him. Other way, he will want to get a faster time. He actually has quite a big gap also behind him as well. KNG has still set the best lap time for him with the medium tires. And that's not even the strangest part, because Ragic has set this time with intermediate tires. Even stranger. Either way, Siren 200 improved his sector 2 time there by quite a bit. We'll see if he's able to improve his time overall here. Let's see now in the final straight. Yes, he is. That's quite a big improvement. 0.3 of a second, but it's not enough to pass anyone. Han is simply too far away. Now we're on board with Mirk, currently 3rd in the qualifying standings. Jix. And Jix improved his time even further, 103.845. That's an amazing time. And I think it's gonna be hard to beat for anyone. Kevin Van Dijk, I don't think he's gonna have a shot. But, you know, this Formula 1, there's always surprises that can happen. Now Mirk is gonna start his fast lap. He's currently 3rd with a time of 104.265. We'll see if he's able to improve at least challenge Kevin Van Dijk and perhaps even Jix. Let's see now. Sector 1 is coming to a close. Sector 1 is a very short sector. Sector 2 is true meat of this racetrack. And Mirk improved his time by 0.169, and that's a massive... Oh, but he's lost a bit of grip there. We'll see if that slows him down. That's a massive improvement, and if he's able to sustain that speed, he would perhaps be able to beat Kevin Van Dijk at least, and if he's really fast, he could challenge Jix. But we'll just have to see. KNG has set a time that is faster than Han, so he's taken the 5th place. But that's still 0.7 of a second slower than the leader. He decided to ditch the mediums. Otherwise, Mirk now coming to the final straightaway. I think it's gonna be a fast time, but how fast truly? We'll see in a sec. And it's the pole time there. Mirk gets the pole time with a time 103.639, and that's 0.2 of a second faster than Jix. I didn't think Jix's time would be beatable, but yes, it was. I mean, I've been very wrong in these races many times before. KNG in the gravel. He's currently P5 now on board the Sireni 200. Let's see if he's gonna get anything out of this one. He's again 2/10 faster than he was previously. On board with MC naapurin Pena. We'll see if he's able to improve his time. Finishing hard here. He has set quite a slow lap, unfortunately, of 109.643. We'll see if he's able to improve a bit. Ideally for him he would. That's around 6 seconds, or almost exactly 6 seconds slower than the leader, Mirk here. So we'll see. He's currently sitting at 11th, but he's 4 seconds faster, so it will be a faster lap. But faster by just how much, it remains to be seen. Now on the final straight, let's see it here. Well, 105.86. It's a good time. P7 with that, but nowhere near the leaders. Now Han, P6 at the moment on his outlap, starting his fast lap now. And even he's around a second slower than his teammate, Mirk, in the other Aston Martin. By the way, qualifying is coming to a close almost here. So not a lot of opportunities to set any faster times. We'll see about Han though. Perhaps he's able to at least catch up to KNG, who was around 0.05 of a second faster than he was. He's driving Han is driving an Aston Martin, KNG with the Haas. And now Han pulling to the final straight, final corner there. Looks clean to me. Let's see about that. And yes, it's an improvement, and with that he actually overtakes both KNG and Toro to move to P4. Now on board with Kevin Van Dijk, he perhaps has his final chance, and not perhaps, he will have his final chance to overtake Jix or Mirk on this lap. Let's see how his time looks after sector 2. A lot of drivers currently on their fast lap still. Kevin Van Dijk, that's a massive improvement, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to beat Jix or Mirk. But we'll see. We're just gonna have to see. Final corner now, looks clean. Final straightaway. It's a faster time, but it's not enough. He's improved his time there by almost 0.2 of a second, but it's not enough to challenge Jix or Mirk. They're both still well clear of him. And now Jix wasn't able to beat Mirk there. Most unfortunately, I think Mirk had a bit of issues. He was in the gravel, as was another driver. But it won't matter. He will take pole position in the race. He will start at number 1. And not a lot of time left now. Qualifying is wrapping up, and the race starts order will be as follows. Mirk with the Aston Martin set the pole time of 103.639, I think. So he will start the race first. Then Jix behind him, Kevin Van Dijk, then Toro, Han, KNG, finishing hard, Sireni 200, Ragik, Daci, and MC Pena. as well as Asterix, who unfortunately crashed out of the session before being able to set a time there. By the way, we're waiting now for the race start. And hopefully I'll actually commentate the race start this time as yesterday. I thought we would have a formation lap, but we didn't. So, yeah. The driver started going, I was going kind of fast for the formation lap, and then I realized that we were underway with racing. However, the race start is about to happen, I should say. 12 drivers on the grid, as I said. A bit short again today, unfortunately. So the race here in Spielberg about to start. And I have to remind you that Jix, who will start the race second today, finished first last time in Monza. We'll see if he's able to repeat the feat here in Spielberg, Austria. Well, I think he's gonna have a run for his money with Mirk, who of course will start the racing first. The race start is now happening and we're off. Let's see how the race goes. Mirk holds his first place. Jix is close behind in second. Kevin Van Dijk third. Toro fourth. Hahn fifth. And not a lot of overtakes took place in the race start here. And now Jix is immediately trying to overtake Mirk here. No, he doesn't. Now he's going for the undercut or sorry, the, how do you call it? Well, either way, he takes the lead. Jix has immediately taken the first place from Mirk. Kevin Van Dijk following close behind in third. After that, Toro, then Hahn, KNG, finishing hard, Asterix, Siren 200, Rakic, Dutchem, MC Naapuripena. Asterix had an amazing start there, clearly. Siren 200 in the wall. Asterix moved up a total of, how much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. Interesting race start there in the back at least. This race will last to 36 laps in total. You can see there the tires that everybody has chosen. Different strategies are being employed. We actually have a lot of variation there in the tire sets. Mirk now with behind Jix going into turn 1. He doesn't try to overtake, but we know that that's not the best place to overtake. It's here on the second straight and turn 2 where the overtakes usually happen. Mirk sort of moving into the inside. I don't think he's gonna have a go here, nor will Kevin Van Dijk. And a gap, the first gap of the race is formed, and it's with Hahn, who is over a second now behind Toro. So we have the lead pack of 4 drivers now, who are Jix, Mirk, Kevin Van Dijk and Toro. And there you can see the possible race strategies. There, of course, they will vary a lot depending on safety cars and, you know, just other strategies that drivers may choose instead. By the way, this is now the chase pack or the chase group forming. It's not a chase group, it's more of a chase duo. It's Hahn and KNG. And we'll see if KNG is gonna try to make an overtake here, not into turn 1, but perhaps into turn 2. Let's see here now on the longest straightaway. Oh, and Mirk takes the lead position now in the race. He overtakes Jix. Jix, however, goes for the undercut. And he overtakes Mirk right back. And now Kevin Van Dijk is trying to profit there, perhaps go past Mirk there. And he does into turn 3. And Mirk lost. He almost gained the lead, but he's ended up losing another position. And then he's now in P3. Kevin Van Dijk takes second place. The Sireni 200 is pitting, perhaps he endured some damage in the shenanigans that started. Either way, we still have the 4 drivers. Jigs is still in the top. Kevin Van Dijk took second place from Mirk, and they're being followed by Toro. And these 4 drivers now all within a second of one another. Kevin Van Dijk now behind Jigs into the main straight here. There's a slight gap between the two, but of course they have DRS and Jigs does not. Now let's see, this turn is always interesting, turn 2 here. Kevin Van Dijk moves to overtake Jigs, being followed by Mirk. Let's see what happens here. They're really close. Toro now moving into the inside. Toro overtakes Mirk. Mirk has lost 4 positions now since the start of the race. That's or 3 positions, sorry. It's really unfortunate for him, but at least he's still within the chase group. So basically, the entire lead group has overtaken Mirk after the race start here. Jigs still leading the race. He took that lead position in the first lap. Mirk now perhaps is thinking about overtaking Toro here. We see if he does that into turn 1, or no, he kind of slides there into the, oh, and he's gone wide, and oh, that's bad. Let's see if he's able to recover from that. I think he is. I don't think he'll fall off completely. But now on board with Kevin Van Dijk, we'll see if he tries to make a move into turn 2 on Jigs. Let's see, outside or inside. I think he's going for the inside here. Oh, but he pulls out just in time. He chooses not to go for the overtake there. Oh, I always say it. I think it's a smart move. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. But sometimes you just have to risk it for the biscuit, as they say. Now either way, on board with Kevin Van Dijk here. Still behind Jigs, hunting him down. And you can see that KNG, I think, is slightly being able to catch up to the lead group. Han is following behind his tail, and then after that, the other drivers, there's huge gaps behind them. Sireni 200 all the way 24 seconds behind the rest. And Mirk has overtaken Toro at some point. I didn't quite catch that when that happened, and it looks to me as if Toro might be falling from the lead group, but I'll make sure not to judge too quickly. Now Kevin Van Dijk moving outside, and he's able to make that pass there cleanly into the second straightaway. That's a very nice overtake, no hassle with that. And he now takes the late position. He was 4th in the race start. Oh, sorry. Now Jigs takes it right back. Kevin Van Dijk, he was able to overtake there on the second straightaway, but Jigs got a nice exit from turn 2 and overtakes him right back. Right back. Yeah, Kevin Van Dijk had to lead there for a second, but he just wasn't able to sustain it. And as I said, yeah, it's just as I thought. Toro fell off slightly from the lead group here. We'll see if he's able to recover, but I wouldn't be too hopeful if I was him. So we have the 3 drivers now in the lead, and they are Jigs, Kevin Van Dijk and Mirk. And we're already in lap 7. Wow, this race has gone by real fast. We haven't even had a safety car yet, interestingly. Oh, Mirk now trying to go for the overtake of Kevin Van Dijk. I think they collide there. What's gonna happen? Kevin Van Dijk, will he be able to recover from that? I think he just might be. Hopefully he didn't endure much damage from that. And Mirk made a risky overtake there on Kevin Van Dijk. It led to a collision. We see if either driver endured any damage from that. Yeah, I think Kevin Van Dijk may have endured at least some damage, because he's falling fast. Maybe he isn't able to catch up anymore. We'll have to see. There's a second gap now. I think he's gonna get DRS into this straight, but I don't. We'll see. He might have endured damage. perhaps at least to his tire. It's looking bad for him. Well, either way, on board with Mirk here, he chooses not to go for an overtake on Jigs, at least on this lap. Or on this turn, sorry, now into turn 3. Still staying behind, not making any risky maneuvers here. I don't think that's the optimal race line. And Kevin Van Dijk is just barely hanging on to the leaders here. Toro has fallen far off, and it's actually K&G who scored up to Toro. And they are now the chase duo in the race. The two McLarens are their last place. Not looking good for them in the slightest. And K&G passes Toro. Toro is actually in the not the wall, but in the grass there. I'm not quite sure what happened. Mirk has been handed a 3-second time penalty, and I think that's either for track limits, perhaps that has something to do with the crash, or with that overtake maneuver on Kevin Van Dijk that he made. And unfortunately for Kevin Van Dijk, it looks like he's not going to be able to keep up with the leaders here. So at the moment it's between Jigs and Mirk, who are, those two drivers are on top at the moment. Jigs was the winner of last race. Mirk, I'm not sure that he raced. But regardless, Kevin Van Dijk is falling, and I don't think he can be classified as part of the lead group now. And now on the second straight, Mirk still following behind Jigs. I think Mirk is now starting to be a bit more careful. Oh, Mirk has just spun! He hasn't spun, but he's drifted off the track. I think that's his front wing damage. Kevin Van Dijk now overtakes him. We'll see if Mirk has to pull over. He just completely lost grip there with the medium compound tires. From turn 1, and now it's Kevin Van Dijk that has gone off the track and hit the wall. It's crazy out here, and now K&G is P3. Kevin Van Dijk, let's see if he's able to recover. And now Jigs is completely alone in the lead here. Mirk 5 seconds behind. Yeah, now there's huge gaps in the lead, and now we're following the P10 car, who's the only one that's even sort of close to the person ahead of him. So we're on board with finishing hard here in the Red Bull, following Ragik. And yes, Mirk is pitting, so is Kevin Van Dijk. I think they both endured some damage from their respective crashes. We'll see what tires they put on. Mirk puts on fresh hard tires, and Kevin Van Dijk, hard tires I think as for him as well. Yes, they are. And Mirk, we'll see what positions they exit to. Finishing hard, handed a time penalty now. Mirk is 7th after the pit stop. Kevin Van Dijk is 8th. Well, I can't quite say that he's 8th yet. Yeah, he is 8th. P8 after that pit stop. And they're gonna have a huge way ahead of them to catch up to Jigs or the other drivers, as a matter of fact. Either way, still on board with finishing hard here, who's fighting with Ragik for the P9 position. And just ahead of them is Kevin Van Dijk in the Ferrari. But I think Kevin Van Dijk is just faster than either of them. So probably he will start to form a bit of a gap there, and, well, maybe not start catching up to Mirk, but Mirk is gonna definitely start catching up to Dutchy. Or Han, sorry, and there's now a car. Which car was that? That was in the wall. I'm really not sure. Asterix is P4. I haven't even seen that. He started the race in last place, but he's now 4th place. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff there. And now on board with Dutchy. Dutchy is almost a second behind Hahn there. There's finishing hot. Still trying to get past Rogic with the Williams. Well, hasn't had any luck yet. And we're now on lap 13 of the race. And the situation is as follows. Jix is leading the race. Behind him K&G, then Toro, Asterix, Hahn, Dutchy, Merck, Kevin Van Dijk, Rogic, Finishing Hard, Amstel Naapurimpena and Sireni 200. And Asterix has been now handed a 3-second time penalty, and a lot of people get handed those time penalties. It's nothing to be surprised of. Mir gets by Dutchy there. He's on a new hard tires. And now... And Dutchy is now gonna try and overtake Mirk right back. Oh, I think they have touched there. Dutchy's gone wide. Mirk will hold the 6th place position. I don't think that was smart from Dutchy to go for the overtake there. I think he should have known that Mirk is just faster than him. And Finishing Hard has finally been able to get past Rogic. So interesting things happening here. Either way, Jix still in the lead. And he's got a comfortable 9-second gap to K&G. Now on board with Mirk, I think he's gonna try to pass his teammate here, Hahn. We'll see if Hahn lets him by easily. I don't think he will. So he's gonna have to work for this position as well. Let's see now. He's going for the overtake. Yeah, nothing that Hahn can say about that. Mirk now moves into 5th place. He started the race in 1st, and an unfortunate spin and a crash. And now he's trying to hunt Jix. Hunt Jix. Oh, and what's that? Toro has crashed out of the race there. You can see he's in the wall. And I think, yeah, we gotta have safety car there. And that's a prime... Oh, and so is Hahn. What? Multiple red flag. The race is over. What's happened there? Hahn, Toro, and Merck are out. What? This is crazy. What happened? Did they all crash into... The race has been red flag. Did they all crash into that Alfa Romeo, sorry, of Toro? What happened? I just completely missed that. The truck from Alfa Romeo crashed, and then Merck crashed in. I think Merck crashed into Toro, and then another driver also crashed into those two. And the race has been red flagged. This is insane developments here in the Saturday race session here in Spielberg round 2. And that's good news for Jix, whose competitors have been, well, not all of them have been taken out, but many of them. And the race restart is gonna happen now. And it's lights out and away we go. Jix is in 1st place position. And there's just 9 drivers now on the grid. And yeah, Kevin Van Dijk is P9. I don't know what happened there. I think he went wide from the start. Yeah, he did. But Jix has held his 1st place position, and he's close to being followed by K&G. And then Asterix. Asterix has already lost a little bit of time to those two. So I think Jix now has to defend K&G, or defend from K&G, sorry, to keep his lead place there. Finishing hard now, he's 3rd somehow, and he's just overtaken Asterix. And Asterix hasn't changed his tires. A lot of drivers haven't changed their tires. I'm not sure, I thought they could have changed their tires there during the red flag, and I think they should have, I don't know why they haven't. By the way, KNG now, I think he's not gonna go in for the overtake in turn 1, but he might do that in turn 2. Now on the second straight, following closely behind Jigs. No, he's not going for the overtake there. By the way, those two now are in the lead and they have a bit of a gap behind them. Finishing hard is 1.4 seconds behind. Now KNG moves on the outside of Jigs, but however he decides not to go for the overtake. We'll see if he cuts inside to get the better exit, but he loses a bit of grip there and he's not able to make the pass at least there. I don't think KNG is as fast there as Jigs is, not quite. They're both on hard tires. Now into the penultimate corner and the final corner after that. And main straight. And DRS has now been enabled. That's gonna be good news for KNG. And he's gonna be able to make some attempts at least on Jigs here. And now I think he's going for the overtake here. Goes on the outside into turn 2. Is that gonna be able to do it? They're side by side into turn 2. Jigs gets a good exit there and he's gonna hold position 1 for now. But they're still side by side and now KNG gets passed. And now into turn 3, KNG has the lead, followed by Jigs. Oh, and have they touched there? I'm not sure if they did. There was a bit of issue. Let me try to see the replay here. Yeah, Jigs gives a little shunt there into KNG. Interestingly. Hopefully that's not caused too big of an issue. Other way, finishing hard has, with the Red Bull, caught up to the leaders. KNG and Jigs are being followed closely by finishing hard in the medium tires. Now, on both with finishing hard here on the main straight into turn 1. And let's see if Jigs is gonna try and get his position back on this lap. In the long straight here into turn 2, he's gonna go for the inside line. Let's see now. Side by side. KNG has the advantage and gets the better exit there. And finishing hard can't quite get the overtake on Jigs either. So from turn 2, the race standings still remain as KNG being followed by Jigs and then finishing hard. Those are the 3 drivers in the lead here and there's a 4-second gap behind them. And yeah, the 2 drivers, it's the the Aston Martins that crashed out, causing the red flag there. So I think what happened was Toro crashed and then Mirk and Hahn both crashed into Toro. It's really unfortunate really that Mirk is not going to be able to pose any kind of challenge on Jigs here. But it is what or Jigs and KNG, or the other leaders. It would have been an interesting fight there if we had been able to stay in the race. But we're not gonna have that unfortunately. Now into turn 2, the lead back. Jigs tried to cut inside but it didn't quite work and no overtakes there. Now into turn 3 however, he's carrying speed, going for the inside into turn 3. Let's see if he makes the overtake, still having the inside line. Will he get the better exit? No, he will not. And KNG holds his first place. Keeps it nicely. And finishing hard didn't make any sort of attempt there either. Now on board with Ragic and Dutchy are the chase group there. They're 5.8 seconds behind the leaders. And they're being followed by Kevin Van Dijk, who is 6.7 seconds behind them. Then Asterix, then Amsterdam Alpha and then Sireni 200. Either way, now on board with Jigs into turn 1. Following KNG. And now on the long straight, we'll see if he's gonna make a move. Yeah, he goes for the outside line. And yeah, easy overtake there. KNG has nothing to say to that. And now he's finishing hard. He's also gonna go for the overtake on KNG, but he's not gonna make it just. He just fails to make it. And Dutchy there behind the Ragic Dacia and Rogic form the chase group, or the chase duo I should say, there's only two. By the way, now on both is K and G hunting jigs. It's gonna be interesting, there's still around 15.5 seconds to go. Finishing hard means handed a 3-second time penalty, and those time penalties are crucial as we saw yesterday. They completely changed the order and even the winners of yesterday's race. But neither of Jigs or KNG have time penalties, but Finishing Hard does. So if Finishing Hard is gonna be able to overtake them, and then perhaps set up some kind of a gap, you'll need to remember that due to the time penalty, it won't be necessarily that the first driver to cross the line will be the driver to win. Either way, KNG thought about going for the overtake on the inside of turn 2, but decided not to in the end. And Kevin Van Dijk there, has he pitted? No, he hasn't. He had some issue there. And now into turn 3, the lead back. Finishing Hard is really fast there, but no overtakes. No overtakes. And there you can see the penalties now. So Finishing Hard is actually does have a 6-second time penalty. Ratigir and Dacia have 3-second time penalties. Asterix has another 6-second time penalty, and then MC Raapinen has a 5-second time penalty. Now into the main. Oh, and Finishing Hard, has he lost a bit of time there? Has he fallen from the lead group? What's happened there? Is Finishing Hard out? No? Yes, he is. I think he's crashed or spun or something, because he's now being pushed by Ragic. Finishing Hard. He's crashed or spun. Oh, and there's a contact there between Dacia and. Is that Finishing Hard? Dacia and Finishing Hard, I think I'm not sure what happened there exactly. No, it's not Finishing Hard, it's Dacia and who? Not 100% sure there. Finishing Hard, by the way, passes Ragic. Ragic is gonna go for the pass straight back. Yes, he is now on the 3rd straight into turn 3. Let's see, will he go for the inside line? There's a crash there. I'm not actually even. I saw a Ferrari crash, but both Ferraris seem fine. Well, fine. You can make the argument that they're not fine. But either way, Finishing Hard had a big issue there clearly. And he is now 10 seconds behind the lead group, or the lead duo now, of Jigs and KNG. And I think he's out of the competition for the race victory, at least for the time being. Now either way on board with KNG here. On the long straightaway going into turn 2, let's see if he's gonna make an attempt at a pass on Jigs. No, he won't. I think he's at a bad corner there also. Now in toward turn 3 here. Will he now go for an inside line? No, he's gonna cleanly try and stay behind Jigs. Smart move. If he's able to keep behind Jigs for the time being, it's good news. He can fight for the victory on the last lap also. Either way, we're now about 2/3 of the race done. And Jigs and KNG are the two lead drivers, driving an Alfa Romeo and a Haas respectively. In the chase group is, or the chase duo is Finishing Hard and Ragic in a Red Bull and a Williams. After that, the two Ferraris, then Asterix with the Alpine, and then the two McLarens. And Jigs, who won the last race, still holds the lead on this race, or in this race, sorry. And now we're on board with the Ragic. Let's see if he makes an attempt on Finishing Hard here into turn 2. I think he's going for the inside. No, actually switches for the outside there, because Finishing Hard moves on the inside, side by side into turn 2. And he cuts inside there. I think they touch a little bit, and Ragic really make the pass there now, side by side on the 3rd straight. We see into turn 3, Ragic on the inside, Finishing Hard on the outside. Who's gonna get the better exit and entrance into the turn? Ragic is ahead. Finishing Hard cuts to the inside, and they're still competing here, but Ragic will get the 3rd place spot after all said and done. I'm not sure if they touched there, I didn't completely see that. But finishing hard has lost his third place position and moved into fourth. Ragek takes the third place. But importantly, oh, and Ragek's pitting there, you can see. He's pitting, it's gonna be interesting what tires he pits for. I mean, those hards were 14 laps old, so I think it's a smart move, relatively speaking. And finishing hard now all alone in third. And Ragek pits for soft tires for the last section of the race, 10 laps to go approximately. And K&G and Jigs still in the lead here. They have a comfortable 16.5 second gap to finishing hard. Ragek came out of the pits in P6. He has the soft tires, he's gonna be a lot faster than Kevin Van Dijk or Dutchy, so we'll see if he's gonna be able to pose a challenge to those two. Other way now on both with Dutchy, who's gonna maybe make an attempt on his teammate. No he isn't, he chooses not to in the end. And Ragek is 8.8 seconds behind them, and K&G has just been handed a 3-second time penalty, and that's huge, as if Jigs is just gonna be able to avoid any penalties. It would mean that even if he loses K&G a bit, he's gonna be clear to win the race. So Jigs just has not to make any mistakes here, and he'll win the race easily. Other way on both K&G, who just got handed the time penalty, and that is for track limit violations. You can do a bit of them, but once they give you too many warnings, they will penalize you. Just the way it goes. Jigs, I think, went a bit wide there, if I saw correctly, but hasn't got a penalty yet for that. Now into turn 2, let's see if K&G makes an attempt at a pass. No, he won't. Yeah, I think K&G is happy at the moment sitting in second place, and perhaps he even realizes that he doesn't have that big of a chance to finish ahead of Jigs, and he also isn't being threatened from behind, as finishing hard is almost 20 seconds behind, and he has a 9-second time penalty, and Kevin Van Dijk is also far behind, so no real threat or opportunity really for K&G, so I think he just has to sit second, and now I think he's almost actually gonna lose Jigs here, but we're just gonna have to see. And you can see the stops here, and Sireni 200 has pitted 5 times. Very interesting. And yeah, K&G is losing now Jigs. He still has a bit of DRS, but he's losing Jigs, he's not being able to catch up, so Jigs has just got to drive cleanly for the rest of the race to secure victory here. And huge gaps now between the drivers. We're now on board with Dutchy, who's I think is just being lapped by Jigs. He was just lapped by Jigs, so we see if K&G will also soon have to lap Dutchy. Kevin Van Dijk won't have any kind of opportunity. Oh, and that's finishing hard actually coming now from the pit lane. He's pitted for softs for the last 8 laps of the race. And Asterix now, after finishing hard, came from the pits. Asterix is just behind him. And now those two are the only drivers that are actually anything resembling close to one another. We'll see if there's gonna be some sort of battle for P5 here. Finishing hard has a lot of time penalties, so he's gonna have to be really fast with those softs, as he has to make some sort of a gap to Asterix to secure any kind of or to secure his position ahead of him. Asterix also has some penalty, but I'm not 100% sure what that is. Rogic now being handed a penalty. And yeah, Finishing Guard has a 9-second time penalty, but so does Asterix, and Asterix has fallen off. So Finishing Guard will not be threatened by Asterix, nor will he be threatened by Dutchy, who's 27 seconds behind. So the race is not that close to over, but I think it's pretty safe to call what the finish is gonna be. I predict that there won't be any changes to the positions here for the finish. So I think Jigs is gonna win, unless there's some huge mistake or crash or an incident related to lapping slower cars. Jigs will run away with the victory here. KNG will finish second and the Kevin Van Dijk will finish third. But there might still be pitting involved, as the top 3 drivers are all on quite old tires. 14 laps hards for Jigs and KNG, and then 19 lap hards for Kevin Van Dijk. But they have all pitted, so they're not forced to pit. And I wouldn't pit if they were them. Or if I were, maybe if I was KNG I would try to pit. Hard to say. Finishing Hard sets the fastest lap of the race session with those soft tires that are quite new. And we're now on board with Rogic, who's actually caught up to Kevin Van Dijk there. Kevin Van Dijk is on those very old tires, and Rogic has quite new softs, so I think Rogic might try to make an overtake and to take the third place, the podium place position from Kevin Van Dijk. Now you will need to remember that the Rogic has some sort of a time penalty, so that's gonna have to be added up to the final results. So even if Rogic overtakes Kevin Van Dijk here, it's not necessarily going to mean that Kevin Van Dijk loses the third place position in the end. Let's see now into the first, or the main straight. Rogic goes for the inside on turn 1, or into turn 1, and yeah, no shot for Kevin Van Dijk on defending that. I didn't actually catch what the time penalties were there. But Rogic either way. Oh, and Kevin Van Dijk takes the position right back, as I wasn't looking onto the in the second straight there, the long straight. Oh, and Jigs has been handed a time penalty, and that's huge, but it's not huge enough. And now Rogic is now taking the third place position back, and Rogic has a 6-second time penalty. So Kevin Van Dijk, unless he falls 6 seconds here on the final few laps, he will be able to retain the third place position. Jigs has a 3-second time penalty, but so does KNG. And KNG is 2.5 seconds behind, so I don't think he's going to be able to catch up, unfortunately. And yeah, this is not a lot of places where the standings can still change. Yeah. 4 laps still to go, approximately. And those tires will still play a huge role, I think. Kevin Van Dijk has those really old tires. Finishing Hard is 4 seconds behind him, but Finishing Hard has some huge time penalties, so it won't matter, unfortunately. And you can see the stops there for a moment, so a lot of variance in the stops. Jigs and KNG only had 1 stoppage, and Sirenit landed at 5. And clearly the one-stop strategy has been the superior one today. Jigs and KNG of course in the lead. Actually now just 3 laps remaining for the two of them. On board with Kevin Van Dijk though, he's been able to stay behind the Rogic quite well. Quite well indeed. So it at least means that he will probably keep the third place position. I don't think Rogic has such time penalties that unless he's able to really shake off Kevin Van Dijk here, he will not be able to have the third place in the end. No, yeah, you can see the tires how much slower Kevin Van Dijk is there on turn 2 than Rogic. So the old tires are really coming into play here in the end. 23 lap hards versus Rogic's 8 lap softs. I mean, Rogic's 27 seconds behind the leader, so there's no way that he's gonna be able to have any kind of opportunity to catch up to them. And we're now on the penultimate lap of the race. Jigs and K&G are, as you can see on the map there, they're on the third straight heading into turn 3. And they're soon going to finish this race. Kevin Van Dijk, he's staying well, nicely behind Rogic, so he will be able to have the third place in the end after all penalties are applied. Ooh, and what's that? Rogic has lost a bit of grip there. Dutch has been handed a time penalty. Nothing much to say about that for me. Rogic had a bit of a grip issue there in the exit of turn 2. But he was able to recover and keep his third place position. However, it's not gonna matter. He will lose there in the end. The lead drivers now have started their last laps of the race. Jigs and K&G will finish the race in a moment here. And the race positions will not be altered really here today. The penalties are such. Well, Rogic is the only one who will lose his third place position to Kevin Van Dijk here, unless Kevin Van Dijk crashes in the end, but that's very unlikely. Oh, and Kevin Van Dijk actually makes them going for the overtake there. Did they both just lock up, or what happened there? That's actually huge. Now finishing hard overtakes there. How much time did Kevin Van Dijk lose there? And Kevin Van Dijk's got a track penalty. And Kevin Van Dijk will lose the third place position after all. That's, oh no, in the last lap. Jigs finishes now, he will win the race. Or has won the race, sorry. Kevin Van Dijk, oh, it's gonna be close, you can see. Kevin Van Dijk is around 3 seconds behind Rogic. He has a 3-second time penalty, and so Rogic has a 6-second time penalty, so the gap, oh, it's gonna be close there. Kevin Van Dijk, you have to remember, you have to add up finishing hards and Kevin Van Dijk's times. Kevin Van Dijk, will he finish third? It's gonna be really close there. Yes, Kevin Van Dijk will take the third place position after all. It was really close. And the final drivers are also now about to finish. So Jigs won the race, K&G third, and Kevin Van Dijk fourth. And Rogic then, Rogic's fourth, finishing hard is fifth, Asterix sixth, Dutch is seventh, Sireni 208th, and MC Naapuripena ninth. So let me now look at last week's, or the standings after last week. How will they be altered? Of course. Rogic there has been given driver of the day, and Jigs will keep his first place position. So let me look at the standings now, what they would look like after this race. You can see there the drivers celebrating. Jigs, representing the Netherlands, will lift the trophy now. He won the Spielberg Grand Prix. All congratulations to him. Second place driver, it represents the world, I guess. K&G not able today to quite catch up in the end to Jigs. And Kevin Van Dijk finishes third. So now we get to the juicy stuff. The race results and how they will affect the standings. So Jigs remains first after 2 races. and he has now 51 points, I believe. Kevin Van Dijk will hold second place after the race, so yeah, well, we'll see. You can see in the Discord there after the or when they are posted, updated there after Austria or after today. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If in case commentary is still live, it was a good race there, and all congratulations to the Jigs for winning the race. Thank you.